Aaron Peters, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me virtually.
I appreciate you joining. Do people call you AP or is that just your Instagram name?
So people actually do call me AP, but definitely not Mr. AP. That would be quite weird, I think, to
Yeah.
call someone that in person. But yeah, my nickname's always been sort of AP, to be honest. So I don't know where the Mr. thing came from. I think back in the day I was able to get usernames on Instagram.
Mhm.
So the concept of having that was quite cool. It was a short username. I was obviously never going to get AP, so it was the second best as always.
Brilliant. When I was doing research on you, you've launched many businesses, but
Too many.
your business journey probably started back in school. Are you able to just talk about some of the ventures you launched during the school days?
Yeah, I guess most people that say that started selling sweets at school, right? Amongst other things, I was once excluded for selling explicit DVDs. That wasn't my proudest moment. My dad didn't know whether to punish me or to be happy, to be honest, because one was that side of it and the other thing was entrepreneurial, so he wasn't quite sure. He was a bit confused. But my punishment was actually him deleting all my music. At the time, that was obviously a big deal. We didn't have YouTube or sort of Spotify back then, so it was quite funny, really. But yeah, it's completely ranged really from everything, and it's just moved upwards, and stuff's got better, stuff's got worse. But yeah, I've sort of sold a lot of different shit, to be honest, over the years.
I think one of them that I read about was Nando's cards, fully stamped
Yeah,
Nando's cards.
God, that was back in the day. Yeah, when you used to be able to go to Nando's and do it. But ironically, we were buying them from someone that worked at Nando's, and then selling them on. So that was quite funny. Again,
And
that's digital now, like everything else, so you can't really get away with that.
I think that's probably your fault why it's
Yeah,
digital.
yeah. No, there was people doing it on a lot bigger scale than me, I can assure you.
Based on how early your entrepreneurial journey started, do you think people are born entrepreneurial, or do you think it's a skill people can learn?
Uh, it's a good question. I think there's a hybrid of both, to be honest. I think you can learn anything you want in life if you want it bad enough. I think a lot of it comes down to upbringing as well. That's quite an important thing. I've got many friends that are lazy and don't do anything that don't need to worry, and I think sometimes that happens, and sometimes that's not the case as well. Equally, I've got people that don't ever need to do a day's work again, and they probably work the hardest as well. So I think it's individual, isn't it? It's environmental factors, other factors, and stuff like that. I don't think you can blanket it,
Mhm.
basically.
And you own a very successful marketing agency, Sprout Media. But before that, it'd be good to just touch on some of the businesses you've run before. And looking, there's quite a lot to go through. But the main one I just wanted to start on, it's probably where I first heard of you, was EmojiFresh. And what
Yeah,
made you
back
launch
in the
that?
day.
Was that
So
was that
I
a
was
gap in the
out. I was
market?
Yeah, I was working at in the city at the time. I think I started a business selling the air fresheners. I don't know actually how that came around. I'll be completely honest. Me and Tom were laughing. I think it was like one day I dreamt about it. I think I don't actually know. It was obviously it's linked to cars mildly, or quite a lot. And the idea was just to sell the emojis in the shape of air fresheners. No one had done it at the time. And back then it was as easy as just posting a picture on Instagram and you would sell stuff. Obviously that's since changed, as I'm sure you can appreciate.
Yeah.
Um, and then that's actually what sort of led on to Sprout, believe it or not. Although the air fresheners carried on, we paid a marketing company to do the marketing. And this was over 10 years ago now. And at the time, they were calling me asking how to post on Instagram. They didn't understand it because I'd grown up with it sort of early and they weren't aware of it.
What were they doing?
Uh,
Were they doing email marketing, or were they?
no,
And
just posting on social, like building shit content,
Mhm.
like really basic Photoshop stuff, and then scheduling it on stuff like Canva and stuff. And it was such a new thing, no one really knew what they were doing. But obviously,
Mhm.
where I was doing it personally and for these small crap businesses, there was a thing there. And then I was like, well, I'm paying them 500 quid a month, which just seemed like I wasn't getting value for it, because I ended up doing it.
Mhm.
And then, long story short, my dad's mate, well, I basically said I'm going to do it for myself instead of paying him because it was just quicker. And then my dad's friend was like, "Can you manage my social media?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then, yeah, fast forward 10 years, we're still doing it. Well, the business has changed a lot, but we are still doing social media management as well.
Yeah. And when you're running EmojiFresh, were you running ads as well, or was it purely back in the day when it was just organic
I,
content was scaling it?
I would, I honestly don't remember the exact split, but it was definitely majority organic. Obviously, we were working with influencers, so like Tom, for example, who I was involved with. I think Archie used to do stuff. Lenny used to post stuff. We would always collaborate with people, and obviously
Mhm.
we would benefit from the traffic. We'd give commission back to people through trackable links. I think we did do some ads as well,
Mhm.
but it was such a cool novelty, random thing. I think people just liked it, and obviously it was a couple of pound. Everyone could afford an air freshener,
Mhm.
really. at the time.
Because it's probably during the times when meta ads were probably were definitely a lot cheaper than
Yeah,
they are now. So you could run ads on a
yeah.
product that cheap.
I think we used to do it for like product retargeting. I can't
Yeah.
remember doing cold ads, if I'm
Mhm.
honest. But it was a long time ago, so I could be wrong there.
And organic reach was probably just so
Yeah,
big at the
much,
time as
much,
well.
much, much, much bigger, definitely then.
And you exited that business. I think it sold to, was it to a big group, or
I think they bought basically. I think they are more interested in the data. Obviously, people that
sure.
buy car air fresheners, you would assume would have cars. So I think that was the sort of the data, the value of the business, if you like.
Mhm. And I've read as well that was it when you got that registered, it just didn't become profitable anymore. It
Yeah.
was
So like, obviously, our stuff was actually coming from China. So and then we changed supplier, and the supplier was then a UK based supplier. We had basically a bit of a shit show with some stock go missing, and it really hurt us. Then went to a UK supplier because obviously liabilities with them, then not with the factories direct. But obviously he was VAT registered, so then we had to go VAT registered to claim the VAT back. Then every £2 item we were selling, we were losing. What is it, 66p or whatever it works out? I can't remember to the penny. Yeah, it destroyed the margins, and obviously we didn't really have that was our only cost. So, and the average order values just didn't work. Um, Obviously, it wasn't turning over huge money, but the margins were quite attractive at the time. As a side hustle, it was quite cool, and it got quite well known as well. Like we done a Jeremy Clarkson air freshener that was for a Drive Tribe at the time. It was quite a cool little niche business, and people still talk about it to this day, as you've done just now.
and then I'm not sure if it was at the same time, but there was I remember the clothing range was it 11?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was actually something Tom used to do with his mates. That wasn't a brand, though we sort of well, it was a brand before, but not a brand you could purchase stuff. So we sort of worked together to turn that into an e-commerce business. That business actually done quite well, quite quickly. We had a few big influencers on board, and back then it was as easy as just posting a phone case and someone would buy it. I can't remember what happened. Why? I think we sort of there was too many people involved with that business, and I think it just wasn't worth the effort. Basically, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And then I think a friend of mine ended up taking it over, and I think he actually put it into liquidation. Madly enough, I'm not sure what happened with that, but yeah, but I don't know. It was nothing to do with me
Oh, so
after that.
you sold it
Yeah,
to a
me.
friend or you gave it to a
Well, no, he
friend?
was one of the partners that was involved
Fine.
with it originally, and he just sort of stepped. I don't know what. I can't remember what happened. I think me and Tom and a few others were too busy to run it, and he was like, "Oh, I'll carry it on." And then I don't really know, it just fizzled out really.
Because I thought you might have had to stop doing it because of the 11 brand that was owned was 11
No,
Degrees by
he
George Shore.
Tom's actually got the tweet for this message. So Gary from Geordie Shore actually copied that brand. So 11 Ning was going way before 11 degrees, and there's actually a tweet of where Gary tweeted Tom something about it. Like this is before 11 degrees. I don't know where that message is. I'll try and dig it out. But there is evidence of that. So.
And then after he launched, he never tried to stop you guys at all. He just
No, it was this. It's a number, isn't it? You can't really trademark a number, and the brands were completely different. The content that we were putting out on social media at the time was horrendous. I mean, the account's still live. If you look back at it now, it's the stuff that was going out was not suitable for this day and age. I think is probably the best way to word it.
and before I kind of get onto your main business, Sprout Media, just a few others. I know there was Fulfilled. Is that something you're still running today? And
Yeah,
Watch It
yeah. So
Shine.
that still runs. Yeah, Watch It Shine still runs. That's with a good friend and business partner of mine. So. Watch It Shine was our first venture. I should have one here, but I don't. And that business used to be really busy back in the day. And what we used to do is used to send watches, cleaning kits to influencers, and they'd take a picture of themselves cleaning their watches, and then tag us and say thank you and proper influencer marketing. But obviously, without getting too political, people don't feel safe sort of advertising their watches on social media for the last couple of years. So we lost out on that. We moved the product to Amazon through a third party. They sell a few kits a month. It does okay there. We sell a few direct on our website, but yeah, it's not what it used to be. That's for sure. We still rank at the top of Google for watch cleaning kit and stuff, which is great. But we are going to be looking to sort of relaunch the business next year in Dubai. We used to sell a lot of kits to the Middle East. Ironically, when Brexit happened, it actually made getting stuff to Dubai for some reason harder. I think the postal service has really tightened up on local taxes and stuff like that. And obviously, where the products were liquid as well, there's liquid in the products. It was quite difficult to get it there. So I think the way to do it next time would be when we do to Dubai is basically to send the stuff on pallets and then have the items assembled in Dubai just to protect the items as well. And that way, there's an inventory of a breakdown of what consists of the products basically.
Sure. I can
So yeah.
imagine that market is just huge.
Yeah, look, the product's still great. It was one of the first. Miles came up with the idea, and I was like, "This is sick. This is definitely a goer. There's definitely search for it and stuff." And he was right. It worked. The market's changed. Obviously, people still wear watches. People still need to clean them. The product's great. It's still sort of number one, if you like. There's a lot that have copied it since, which is great. It is what it is. But it's a cool product, and it works really well, like really well. And we haven't changed it since day one. We spent a lot of time and money sort of perfecting the product initially. And if they say it's not broken, you don't fix it, right? So,
Do you supply watch dealers as well with the product, or is
yeah,
it
yeah.
more
So
direct to
we used
consumer?
to supply. No, we used to supply them. I think, look, it's not worth a watch dealer selling a watch kit for. They might buy them off half of retail and then nick
Mhm.
20 quid, whatever. It's not worth them doing that when they're selling these watches. So a lot of them were just buying them off us at a discount, and then giving them to their customers as gifts and stuff, which
Sure.
which was great because obviously it got the brand out there and stuff. A lot of our customers come back and buy basically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Fulfilled is obviously a fulfillment company. Do you
Well,
guys?
yeah, it's not really fulfillment. It's
Okay.
a sort of, so obviously I have customers that sell products online. They all bring their stuff over from China. Miles, who's a business partner, he has a packaging company, so all his customers need packaging. So there's a mutual synergy there of helping clients acquire the goods bring the goods into the UK. So we're basically a broker for freight.
Mhm.
So if you needed a container coming over from China to the UK, we use a third party. We obviously don't own the ships, obviously, and would work with a third party to negotiate that rate for you, and help with that. And if you need packaging, Miles can deal with that. If you need a website to sell the stuff, obviously I can deal with that. Then we actually do some storage as well. So if customers have got like loads of pallets and they don't have the room, we partnered with a third party where the pallets will stay there and then the client can call them off as and when they need.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just fulfilling people's
Yeah.
needs really if they've
And
got specific requirements.
it's great as from an e-commerce own an e-commerce digital agency, just for how hands off the client has to be. If they could use you to
Yeah,
do the
yeah.
ads,
So
manage the website,
all
and
my
then
products and stuff, I've never well, air fresheners I used to dispatch initially myself, but my parents didn't like the smell of my room after a while. So yeah, we used a third party basically. I've never looked back. People don't realise that 9 times out of 10 it's cheaper to use a third party because they get such a preferred rate from the suppliers for the volume. And obviously, if you're selling small items and they're selling big items, it helps balance out the average weight per parcel, which really benefits them. So it's quite often the cost per pick that they would charge is actually saved just by using them, basically. So yeah,
interesting.
it is a no-brainer.
And have you've obviously had a load of successful businesses, and I could probably name more, but have you had any businesses that have just failed and stuff that you've learned from?
Yeah, yeah, we've had there's been way more failures than successes with the online stuff, definitely. So one of them was like the trainer reselling business. That was a complete disaster. Crep Chief it was called. We ended up selling that to a group of young entrepreneurs up north. They've turned that business into leaps and bounds, and it's still successful to this day. We've had Watch It Shine to a Mark II, which was a handbag cleaning kit, and we actually branded it called Scumbags. That completely failed. Didn't sell a single kit. Really interesting. I think it was branded high end, but the name was a bit tacky. So I think that's probably why it didn't work. Again, products were fantastic, but no one knew. There's been loads of failures online. Loads. Had a phone case business called In All Cases. It wasn't really a business, it was just a website and stuff. That didn't work.
Great name though.
Yeah, well, really good name. Sometimes these products are too early or they're the wrong time, or I think you need a lot of money to launch something now, and people don't realise that. Making a product and having an idea is the easy part. You can use ChatGPT for that. But actually getting the product here, that's one thing, that's a skill which I'm good at. I had the Stoic band as well. That was actually a really cool business. There's a book called Daily Stoic. Basically,
Yep.
gives you a new quote every day. Stoicism's quite a big thing, and I never have the book on me because obviously I'm of an age where I don't carry books. Really. I basically turned it into a band where you could scan the band every day. The website would automatically generate a Stoicism quote. But yeah, that didn't work. Probably sold maybe 100, 200 bands. Mental. It really didn't work.
That was a fairly new business? Was that?
Yeah, probably maybe a year ago. And it was really clever. Like that tech of scanning something could be applied to anything. Um, daily jokes. It could have been on motivational quotes for mental health. It could have transcribed into anything. We actually ended up giving the band to some local schools to give to the students, just to sort of try and help with mental health and stuff like that. And someone went in and spoke about stoicism and how positive thinking can help get through hurdles and shit in life. So yeah, they went to a good use. The website's still live, so we're still sort of, anyone that uses it, it's still available.
Mhm. And at what point do you just decide to pull the plug on a business idea that you know it's not working?
That's a great question. I don't think it's time. I think it's feedback. You know, pretty quickly. Like if you're getting traffic and people aren't buying, there's obviously a problem. As I said, timing's very important. So if something isn't quite good, you can sort of fake that that you've sold out and then go again.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's quite a common thing that people do. I think some of the failures are probably not putting enough energy into things.
Mhm.
If you enjoy starting the things up and then they sort of disintegrate over time, so you've only got yourself to blame. I think
Mhm.
some of them that's definitely been the case. But yeah, you can get a good feel for it. Really. Like that Stoic band, everyone was like, "Fucking hell, that's amazing! What a great idea!" And didn't sell enough to mad, but it just is what it is, isn't it?
I suppose
I
it's
think if the
harder for
right
you.
person, yeah, I think if the right person done that business who had a following,
Mhm.
then it would really work. Um, Again, that's because someone's not going online looking for a band that does daily updates. It's more of an impulse purchase thing.
Yep.
In order to get impulse purchases, you need eyeballs. And acquiring
Yep.
eyeballs for something niche is extremely difficult.
Sure. I was going to say as well, for you with so many different businesses, you are competing with other people that are just have the one business and they're able to put more of a
Yeah,
focus on it.
yeah.
For you, you probably cut your losses
Look, you're
earlier
never going to be
than,
able to pay a mortgage from selling like bands. Well, I'm sure someone has done in the past, but
yeah.
in reality, it's not really worth my time. And I'll be honest, I'm at the point where I'm no longer doing these things, and I have the ideas and I just park them. I can't be bothered now. My
Mhm.
100% focus and energy is into to Sprout, helping other businesses grow.
Mhm.
We don't work with that many startups, I'll be honest. I'm quite grateful for that because I can build a website for anyone, but
Mhm.
them selling the products is sort of out of my control if it's whatever it is.
Mhm.
So we never overpromise with stuff, but we've had it recently. Someone came to see us. We built them a website. Website's amazing, probably one of the best Shopify sites I've ever built, and they've sold nothing. And it's like, you need to pay to play now.
Yep.
And people don't understand that, and they know someone whose mum, whose dogs has built on the site and it's been successful. It's just, there's too
Mhm.
many factors out of everyone's control now.
Yep. And I've worked with brands that have built a very basic Wix website or even a free
Yeah.
GoDaddy website, and it could if the product's right, it will still sell on a terrible website
Yeah. If the
as a proof of
timing's
concept.
Yeah, if the timing's right, and there's a lot of, as I said, a lot of factors outside of your control. Like if you end up launching something tonight, and then I don't know, something happens on the news, it can completely fuck a business launching. And
Yeah.
these things can happen, and these things are out of your control, obviously. So
Yeah. I just on the businesses you've ran before, I see like a common theme that you never really go into the business on your own. You always have business partners. How do you find the right partner for each business?
it's a good question. I think the majority of the partner, like, I actually had a partner in Sprout, to be honest. I've not, he didn't found it. He came into it probably after 3 to 6 months, and that partnership didn't work out at the time. Um, we're still friends to this day, but that partnership for whatever reason just wasn't right. I think you get a good look. I wouldn't just. I'll be honest. I wouldn't jump into bed with someone straight away. Like it's quite difficult now. You've really got to do your not due diligence because they're always friends or people you know anyway. So that's never been an issue. It's just two heads are better than one.
Mhm.
So for example, Miles and I both work extremely well together because we've both got our main focuses. But it's nice sometimes to have something just to keep you a little bit active on the side. With the fulfilled thing, it's sort of a little bit passive. The containers people do one a month. It's a couple of emails, a few invoices. Um, I've got a coffee shop across the road, which is a complete bit of a, well, it's a complete failure. To be completely honest, it's a disaster. But I've done that with someone, so it's like that's worked well because the risk was split, the loss has been
Mhm.
split. At the same time, if it would have gone well, we would have split it. So it's like in for a penny, in for a pound. It could have gone really well, and we'd split the profits. If it goes really bad, we split the losses. But sometimes, as I said, I like just having the idea and doing it. I like having that purpose, and it is if it was me in the setting up a coffee machine, I've never done one in my life. Spending 2 weeks doing it is fun. It gives me a buzz.
Mhm.
But I think now I'm at the stage in my life where my time's extremely valuable. So it's
Sure.
like I need to pick what I want to do. I'm blessed enough to have two kids, so sort of that's now. I'd rather be with them than setting up businesses selling key rings.
Mhm.
In reality, so
Sure. What made the coffee shop fail? Was it footfall or?
yeah, I'll be honest. The margin on coffee's phenomenal, but you've got overheads associated with running that business. Like you'd think in the summer it'll be busier, but people just tend to buy cold drinks, and the margin on the cold stuff's crap. VATs on a lot of the products. Ice drinks has no VAT. It's a lot of time management into a business that doesn't really. It has no turnover over there. That's the biggest issue. It's not in a busy high street. And the ironic thing is, running that business here or in Oxford Street, the costs are probably give or take the same. Obviously, you do more stock in Oxford Street, but the footfall's there to sort of justify the fixed costs.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, learning curve. I'd never open a restaurant or anything else in hospitality, so it's taught me a lesson there.
I've heard it's probably one of the hardest industries to crack.
I saw a video last week and they're like, a good margin for a coffee shop's 10%. I was like, fuck. I was like, if that's good, like that's mental. And that's why we see all across the UK, they're all franchise based or
Yeah.
sort of they have multiple sites because then they get the buying power. We've got to do VAT returns, accountancy bills, PAYE for that one shop. If you had 10, the bills wouldn't be what they are times 10 now. They'd be times 2 or 3 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's economies of scale, isn't it? And I think you get the buying power, which is the most important thing.
So one of your business partners is Tom Exon or TGE. How did you meet him? Were you always friends or did you meet through business?
No, I think we've actually, ironically, I've been with him longer than I have my wife. We've known each other like, I think it's like maybe 11, 12 years now. We both worked in the city, not far from each other. He was a founder of a successful thing called London Muscle, and I basically was a very young, early follower of that. And Tom and I just clicked and got on well. We've both never fucked each other over. We do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it, which is extremely rare this day and age. And we've just clicked. Yeah, I'd say we're pretty much best friends, to be honest. And yeah, he's a very, very good egg.
So did you message him from being a fan of the brand and want to help out, or is that?
Yeah, I think I was just a follower of London Muscle at the
Yeah.
time. I was into training, and the ethos and stuff they used to preach was quite good. Like you're not gonna look like these people. This is what's natural. This is what's sustainable. And his brother James is relentless, and they working together. They produced a really good business. They are one of the first sort of PDF based brochure personal training companies. And obviously that business grew and grew from strength to strength, supplements and women's guides and loads of different stuff. But yeah, it's a very, very cool business.
Have you ever been shafted by a partner before in business, or have you always had fairly good experiences?
No, no, I've pretty. Well, I think the one skill I have is judge of character. It's always been my, always been a good skill set of mine. Not to say it won't happen in the future, but you learn it every time you have a mistake. You learn and you adopt, adapt, and move forward. Right.
Cool. Now, I want to move on to probably the main part of this podcast. With all the experience you learn scaling lots of businesses in the past, you learned the skills to launch Sprout Media. Was Sprout Media always a success from the start, or did that take a while to scale up?
Success from what? Because it had no costs and it was doing revenue. So from that perspective, yes, but it became very difficult after I had a few clients. I was doing all the work in the evenings, doing business development during the day. It was very difficult in the early days, very difficult. So we had a member of staff that didn't go very well initially. And yeah, we've worked hard to get where we are now, and things are running smoothly. We like working with the clients that work with us, not against us. So we've built up a very nice client base. We've got good loyalty. And again, we do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it. And I think that's what our clients love about us, I think.
And at what point when you started Sprouts Media were you able to go full time into the business, or was it near the start?
Yeah, no, it was full time initially. It definitely wasn't paying a salary for a couple of years, but I was working from the kitchen table, so didn't need that. Again, it was about having the purpose and the fulfillment and stuff.
And do you have any tips for anyone looking to grow an agency?
I wouldn't bother, honestly. I do. We were saying it the other day. I just wouldn't bother at the minute. It's we're
Saturated?
lucky. Yeah, I think it's saturated. Like a lot of our revenues repeat. Obviously, we're doing stuff monthly for clients, and if you look at, I just wouldn't bother at the moment. That's not me not welcoming competition. I would always welcome competition. I just wouldn't bother at the minute. I think everything's too unstable.
Yeah.
And we've worked. We've got a great reputation. Everyone says we've got a great reputation, but I think it's local. We service a lot of local businesses, so that's really helped. If someone wants to start a business, come and work for us would be my advice, because we've got the infrastructure, we've got the big development team offshore that can handle it. We actually get a lot of agencies that sub their development work, SEO work to us.
Mhm.
So our margins reduce massively with doing B2B stuff, but it keeps the guys busy. I think a lot of people are realizing they can't make money doing marketing by having UK-based developers,
Mhm.
um, and they don't work as hard as well. If for getting money, it's the quality of work, and the work ethic is just not here at the moment.
So where's your development agent
So
development?
we've got an offshore team abroad.
Yeah.
We've got a team of 32, I think it is, 32 or
Wow.
33 at the minute. So they're full stack development, the majority of WordPress and Shopify.
Mhm.
But we can do full stack stuff for sure.
And how many staff members do you have on site?
It's only myself and four others in the office
Right.
full time. So we're, well, three, you could argue three full time, and then
Mhm.
two part time members of staff. So yeah, we're in a small office. It's nice, it's cozy. Everyone gets on well, which is great. And then we spend our time sort of managing projects and stuff like that.
Yeah. And for Sprout Media, where do you place the biggest focus for clients? Is it full digital marketing, or would you
Yeah, I
focus
think,
more on the development?
yeah, definitely web development and SEO. SEO is our strong point, 100%. We're very good at web development, but our SEO is our thing that really gets people results and something we're really proud of. We do a lot of work, a lot more because of how we're set up, and obviously having the ability to spend more time on an account because of how we're structured. We get results for people, and I think that's the best thing. Like as a UK agency with UK staff, wouldn't be able to do the hours that we're doing on an account.
Mhm.
So we're good at what we do, and we're spending a lot of time. So it sort of just ticks boxes from both sides.
Mhm. And if you were a brand owner listening to this, what is the easiest way for brands to rank the first spot on Google?
Use an agency that specialises in it. No, but
Mhm.
it's true
Yeah.
because like honestly, the people that employ someone in house to do SEO, if they're any good, they'd be doing it for multiple companies. They wouldn't be
Mhm.
taking a salary to do it for one business. That's the complete truth. With us, you benefit from a team that have been doing it for years
Mhm.
and know sort of all the tricks of the trade. We don't do grey hat SEO. Everything we do is sort of organic and yours, and you own it.
Mhm.
There's a couple of local agencies around here that don't do SEO. It's more like grey hat, black hat SEO. And if you stop paying them, they delete all the historic work,
Sure.
which is mental.
Mhm.
We seem to be picking up the pieces from some of their old clients quite frequently. But we just again we do what we say we're going to do, and I think
Mhm.
that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But I've got my online businesses like the Watch Clinic that's at the top of Google. It was been at the top of Google for 5 years, so it's like
You've got
we
the
do
proof.
yeah, exactly. So we can send you hundreds of, well, not hundreds, tens of websites that rank organically for dream searches. So
Yeah. And it's great to have an agency with a great reputation as well, because you hear so many times the stories of people getting burnt by agencies.
yeah, yeah. Well, look, if we genuinely don't think we can help, we'll be honest.
Mhm.
We're not the company that's just going to send an invoice for the sake of sending an invoice. We've worked really hard to keep our reputation where it is, and we're not prepared to lose it for a couple of £100, basically.
And do you have any tips for business owners looking to grow their e-commerce revenues?
I think at the minute, ironically, it's sort of try and focus offline as
Mhm.
well. Like, there's definitely something said for old school marketing, knocking on doors, telephone calls, sending letters. The SEO stuff's phenomenal, and it's sort of more of a, you look at it more as a pension. It's a long term, not a pension. It's more of an ISA. It's a mid to long term thing. Your Google Ads is obviously a short to medium term. Um, but yeah, I think you just got to look at your competitors, reverse engineer what they're doing as well. Doesn't necessarily mean it's right. It just means it's a way of doing it.
Mhm.
I think people are really starting to see the value in SEO of recently. Obviously, with Google, with Instagram now, it's Instagram's content's now being indexed on Google, and that's obviously one of the main reason is so that AI can start to pull that information through from social media. So I think there's definitely a lot of value at the minute with sort of managing a social media account correctly, and then obviously linking this all up to your Google and stuff.
And how are Sprout Media adapting to optimize towards AI search within SEO?
Yes, we're doing a lot of it. We actually had some very, very good success early on. Obviously, the AI sort of thing is leveraging a lot off of Google stuff. So we are seeing quite a lot of success with it. It's interesting to see that sort of a Google result in London will be the same no matter sort of where you are within London, but the AI stuff seems to be quite different. Um, and also, if you've got a chat going with ChatGPT, so if you've got a box going already and you start asking questions, it's actually using the previous information you've asked to
Mhm.
sort of. So I don't think it's there yet. It's certainly getting there, and probably by the time this video goes out, it will be there. But things are changing so quickly. I think sort of the next generation are going to grow up using AI and not Google at all.
Mhm.
whereas we're probably in the middle of it. We use, I think, product-based stuff. Google's still better for stuff like that, but even service-based local stuff is good. I think if you're looking for a hotel in a specific country with specific amenities and stuff, ChatGPT is phenomenal because it's pulling through all the different stuff to save you looking for it.
And do you see any common big mistakes that brands are making, especially within the world of e-commerce?
People just not doing the housekeeping and the basics.
Mhm.
Like even some of these big sites, they like the meta descriptions and stuff like that. It's just not relevant to what they do.
Sure.
And it's like these are such quick wins. If you just do the basics,
Mhm.
it can make such a difference for some of these sites,
Mhm.
especially if you're getting organic traffic as well.
Yeah. You see it so many times with brands spending a lot on advertising, but they haven't really mastered a website that's got a high conversion rate. And if it doesn't matter how much you spend on ads,
Yeah,
you haven't got the basics nailed. You're never going to be able to
that's
scale.
it. Yeah, like the benefits of increasing conversion rate is so powerful. If you've
Mhm.
got a lot of traffic and you're doing a lot of revenue, increasing the conversion rate by 0.5%, a percent, it's a difference between thousands, 10,000s a year. So
Mhm.
it's definitely underlooked massively.
And how do you, as Sprout Media, find clients? Do you have a lot of clients come to you from your SEO score, or do you do a lot of
Yeah,
outreach?
yeah,
And
yeah. So I get quite a lot of stuff from our SEO as well. I'd say second in command is clients, referrals, coming from existing clients, old clients, new clients. Some stuff from sort of social media as well. Quite a lot of stuff on Instagram. I guess we've been going 10 years now, and it says it takes that long to build a name for yourself in a specific industry. So I guess we're sort of reaping the rewards for all that hard work now.
Mhm. And will most of your clients be local, or is it now all over the world?
Yeah, it's definitely all over the world. UK, quite a lot locally, I'd say within sort of London and the M25, but we have got some national clients as well, like e-commerce national clients, so that works well. We try not to work with, so like if we're working with a specific car detailing company, for example, that are national,
Mhm.
we wouldn't take on another car detailing national company
Yeah.
just just because we've got loyalty.
Yeah.
And it's just not fair for us to be competing against ourselves and our clients to be competing. It just doesn't work.
Mhm.
We work with like social media companies, two estate agents 2 miles apart. That's not, in my opinion, conflict because it's just personal stuff.
Mhm.
Whereas the SEO, you're fighting for the same thing, so it's a bit different.
Yeah, for sure. Because I see this a lot with agency owners that they specialize in a very tight niche. And you think, how are your clients happy with you taking all our learnings from our campaign and just running it for all our competitors as well?
So I think if the car detailers are local companies only, then it's probably not an issue. But as
Yeah.
soon as it's national, it becomes conflict of interest.
Mhm.
We've got some very niche clients. So I've got a company that sells like traffic cones.
Mhm.
That's quite niche. There's not an abundance of them sort of selling. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
we wouldn't work with another traffic cone company as an example.
Mhm. Yeah,
If one
exactly.
contact, we've had it where someone biggest client sells car touch-up paint. One of our big clients sells car touch-up paint, and then a competitor's obviously seen that we built the site and they've got in touch. And I said
Mhm.
to my mate, I was like, look, they've messaged us. What do you want us to do? And we're like, look, we're not working with them. It's not fair.
Mhm.
So that's yeah, we've got loyalty to people that are
For
loyal
sure.
to us for sure.
Nice. And in terms of the future, I appreciate it's probably going to be 100 new businesses in the next 10
No,
years. But
definitely not.
what is the future for your own?
Just continuing to what we do, every one step forward every day, and just working with our clients to give them the best get the best possible chance of being found online as we can do.
Mhm.
We spend a lot of time doing research to stay on top of the news and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, things are good.
Will there be any more e-commerce businesses you'll launch? Or
No, no more.
a ton.
Done with that now. Yeah, just
Brilliant.
helping other people make money.
And if you could offer one piece of advice for someone listening, I know you've offered lots of advice already, but one piece of advice for someone looking to grow a business, what would that be?
Just become an industry expert. I think that's so important now. Not a jack of all. I think even though had this a business, and this business, they're all online businesses. I'm doing online things.
Mhm.
So yes, and it's not technically jack in the box, but it all comes back to the stuff online, building stuff, and that's the passion. I think it's so important. You've got to really focus on what you do and be specific for sure.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Aaron. Really appreciate you coming on today. Where can people find out more about you?
Guess on our website, sproutmedia.co.uk, or on my Instagram. That's a boring place to be, Mr. AP. So if you like
Lots
cars
more
and
car
people,
content.
yeah, crap car content and crap SEO content, that's definitely the place to be. So
Brilliant. Thanks, Aaron.
excellent. Thanks for having me.